the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Friday, December 6th, 2024. This is The Drop. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Heyo.
Heyo. And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer, JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. We got an action-packed Drop podcast for you today. We're going to hand out some wacky first quarter NBA awards. Tass has a twist to worst of the week. Trey's got the latest batch of 5-star Friday reviews. And we're going to end with some rapid fire fun.
Jeez.
But let's quickly touch on some of the action last night. Cavaliers, Tass, with Stan, Jokic's monster triple-double for Cleveland's 20th win of the season. They made a whole bunch of three-pointers in this one. 22 three-pointers for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
The Denver Nuggets scored a lot in the paint yesterday, over 70 points, just kept scoring. Didn't matter. Cavs are good enough. Denver Nuggets, they shoot 20 fewer threes per game than the Boston Celtics. It's kind of wild when you think about that. It's wild when you think about that. They're last in the league in 3 points attempted. They just get in the paint. They still win games, and it looked like they could, but against the Cavs, no. Cavs are impressive. Cavs are just damn impressive.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that game.
I mean, really all you got to say is the 3-point numbers. That's what it comes down to, 22-6. That's the game right there. You know, the Nuggets are a good offense. They're 6th, I think, right now in the league. They generate incredible 2-point shots. Jokic can't miss once he gets inside the lane. Michael Porter Jr., decent cutter. Aaron Gordon, really good cutter. Christian Brown, good cutter. But when they play against a high 3-point team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's a tough math problem for them. Can they generate enough efficient 2-point shots to overcome 23s? No, they couldn't.
Yeah. Cavs made a season-high 22 three-pointers. They hit 9 in the first quarter. Yeah. And the shooting was so contagious in Cleveland, a fan won $10,000 for making a half-court shot between the third and fourth quarter. So everybody was hitting for Cleveland. Jokic did have the triple-double, as I said, 27 points, 20 boards, 11 assists. It was his 139th career triple-double. That's one more than Hall of Famer Magic Johnson. So he moves into third on the all-time list. But I thought this was an interesting note. Jokic is averaging a career-high 37.6 minutes per game. And Michael Malone, Coach Michael Malone, after the game, acknowledged this challenge of, like, trying to win games while maybe trying to rest this guy a little bit. He's in his 10th season here. He said, quote, "We've all got to make sure we don't run him into the ground." Yeah, I mean, I know he missed a couple games, but yeah, but then this is the dilemma. Even in games, obviously, he goes to the bench, they just get waxed, and then he comes back in and tries to get him back in the game. But, I mean, I thought it was interesting for him to at least comment on that.
Yeah, a quarter of the way through the season here, playing 30 minutes game, the most he's had in his career, and they're only playing 8 guys per game. It looks like a playoff roster, playoff rotation when they throw it out there. Because they're so desperate for Jokic, and who is performing so frickin' well. He's wearing those cool new shoes that he just released. Everything he does is sort of under the radar. Even that wasn't all that adamant, but it was cool to see him get a first shoe. And he could win another MVP if he wants. He also wants to be resting, I'm sure. More than what he's doing now.
Yeah,
probably. And Zeke Naji is bad, though. So
they have no options.
What are they supposed to do?
I thought Saric would be good.
Naji scores like 2 points a month.
Yeah.
Not really an exaggeration. He cannot score or play defense. What they really need is Jamal Murray to look like anything close to Jamal Murray, which would give Jokic a chance to sit. But guess what? Jamal Murray has never been able to carry this team with Jokic sitting, and clearly that's not the case this year. So there are going to be games like this where if they're shooting 25% from 3, they don't have a chance.
Yeah, it's a glaring difference watching the Nuggets, how they're so reliant on Jokic to do everything, and to the Cavs, where it's like we've talked all season long. It's like, wow, Mitchell can have monster games, but it's not needed. You know, Garland can take over and have huge games, but it's not needed. Like last night's a perfect example. Everybody contributed. All their star players contributed for the Cavs. And I know everybody was hitting threes, so the bench looks good too, but that's a huge difference. And man, Cleveland, like Tass, a quarter of the way through the season, like they have to be on the short list for actual championship contenders. I mean, it's still Boston. I still think people believe in OKC. I don't know how you couldn't. And then it's got to be like the Cleveland has to be on like that, I guess, next tier, but even right there with those teams, because this isn't like, wow, they played well for 2 weeks. This is a good chunk of time now, TK.
I would have them third. right now. And I mean, maybe you could even convince me they should be ahead of the Thunder until Chet Holmgren comes back and we can see that he actually looks like Chet Holmgren. If that's the case, I would still have OKC ahead, but Cleveland looks awesome. They had a great regular season last year too, winning 18 out of 19. Through the injuries, right now they're just clicking completely. Yeah. Great coaching by Kenny Atkinson. They play fast. They shoot threes. It's not just we're going to pick and roll Donovan Mitchell all the time, play 20 seconds of the shot clock and try and get a tough shot. They know what they're doing out there. It's like Garland and Mitchell. They figured out how to play together. The question marks of Mitchell's contract last year, where he's going to end up, clearly had an effect on this team. And now that he's signed and they brought in a new coach, things are smooth.
Yeah. Let's move to a preview of next week's quarterfinal matchup in the NBA Cup. We had the Warriors beating the Rockets 99-93 last night. There was no Steph Curry. There was no Draymond Green. But there was Jonathan Kuminga. Man, when this guy's asked to be the number one guy, this guy can hoop. Career high 33 points. Hit some big layups late to get the Warriors the win here in a pretty defensive-minded game.
This is a pretty ideal outcome, I think, for the Warriors to get a win without Steph and Draymond, though Draymond was looking good in the Valkyries jersey.
Looked nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But they were coming off 5 straight losses, and Steph and Draymond are like their 2 best shot creators. So that was huge. Kuminga needed a game like this. I think it's his first 20-point game in a month, and he was doing everything offensively, Skeets. Like you're saying, the drives were nice. The finishes were tough. He was scoring off cuts, catch and shoot jumpers. It was all happening for Jonathan Kuminga, which I think is also good for the Warriors because I don't necessarily know if they factor in him in their long-term plans. The way he was playing last night, that doesn't work when Steph Curry is out there, and that's why Steve Kerr has never trusted Kuminga. But if you're a bad team, you look at Jonathan Kuminga scoring 30 a game when he gets a chance without Steph Curry, that's kind of intriguing.
Yeah, it's intriguing to see him perform like this at the end of games where he was the go-to guy. And you could see Steph and Dre jump in there.
Oh, yeah,
they were hyped, super excited. And you hear Kevon Looney afterwards, what he described the growth of Jonathan Kuminga like. He's basically saying we need this guy, to be this guy. At the same time, then you take a breath and you say, okay, when Dre's healthy and Wiggins is out there, where is this guy going to play? Are they going to start Dre and Kevon Looney, who's outplaying Trace Jackson-Davis right now, with Jonathan Kuminga? It just seems a little bit puzzling that there won't be enough room like this old Warriors team was able to dictate with Steph Curry out there. So that's the puzzling part. Steve Kerr goes deep, but they just don't seem to have the right guys to go deep with at this point. Because you assume it's Curry and Brandon Podziemski starting back there, and you assume it's going to be Wiggins and Draymond Green. Kuminga's going to be off the bench again, and it just doesn't feel right. Yeah,
the Rockets were daring Kuminga to shoot, too. They were going so far under every screen, but he was, especially to start the game, he hit 2 threes early. I think it got his confidence going. He went 3 for 6 overall from deep. They went under every time. But what I love to see is, like, just because they go under on the screen doesn't mean you have to settle for the 3. You actually have, like, a full head of steam if you want to attack, and you're as athletic as he is, and he did that a lot. I think the Rockets were really missing Tari Eason in this game. Like, they're sort of like,
good matchup for him.
Go-to guy to shut down whoever the star offensive player is. He was out with, I believe it was a concussion is the reason he missed that game, a concussion protocol. But Wiggins, too, really good game for the Warriors. Like, awesome. Really solid, did everything, 23 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. So good win from the Warriors, and we will see that matchup again. I guess they play on Wednesday of next week in the NBA Cup quarterfinals.
You think that's why Steph and Draymond were sitting?
Yeah.
Couldn't show their hand this
exactly.
early? Yeah,
that's right. Those are big games. Brandon Ingram back, scored 29 points as a somewhat healthy-looking Pelicans bunch. Beat the Suns 126-124. They snapped a 9-game skid. I guess I hadn't realized it had gotten that bad. But Ingram Tass was awesome in the third quarter. Scored 21 of the Pelicans' 45 points in that quarter. He was just cooking. Like, he was giving everybody a bucket. Like, it was O'Neal, it was Booker, Okogie, it didn't matter. But they get a victory because they had a lot of their guys somewhat back in the lineup.
Yeah, I know we all talk about Brandon Ingram and Zion, and to a degree we talk about DeJounte Murray. I think C.J. McCollum will be the 4th guy we talk about. But we don't talk about Herb Jones. Yeah, this was his first game back.
Yep.
He was monstrous to shut down Devin Booker and that opportunity to win this game. Yep. Herb Jones is very important to this team. Even just the defensive team that this was last year, they just haven't been the same team this year in so many ways. So you can look at the standings and say, okay, you're a quarter of the way through here. You got 59 games remaining. Do you have enough?
How many wins are they at? 5?
5 and 18. Yeah, here comes the other 3 quarters of the season. You're just past the 1 quarter mark. Are you gonna have enough guys to do it? That's still a question.
Right.
I think they're done. They're 8 games behind in the loss column from the 10th seed right now.
Yeah.
And you're telling me, do they have enough guys? It's the Pelicans.
Yeah.
They might have them for today.
Yeah,
but
they got them. They had them last night, sort of.
Yeah.
They just gotta hope a team like that's in there, like the Lakers, just continue to get older and aren't the same team. I
mean, we're all getting older every day if you think about it.
I do think about that. And it does happen to me too. The Western Conference obviously stinks for them to be in. It'd be nice if they're in the East.
What will be interesting is like these teams that are more in a race for the playoffs are playing. Like this isn't a gimme game if you're playing a healthy Pelicans team at least. So there's that. And you're right. Herb Jones at the end there, smothering defense on Devin Booker, just sort of locking him up. He had 4 steals too. He had one like with 2 minutes to go, and then he hit a big 3. Herb Jones did in the corner. So a little offense there, gave them a little breathing room. The Suns, nothing fun about the Suns without Kevin Durant was going to be the point here. 1-7 now without KD. 11-2 when he's in the lineup. Completely different teams here, as they're they can miss a Beal and all that. They got enough guards, but it's like. And no Nurkic, I guess, as well. But no.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for them. No Nurkic. Yeah. But I thought Devin Booker was going to be the Suns' best player coming in this season. I thought Durant would take a back seat to Booker, and it's been the opposite. Durant has been their best player. He's their best offensive player, and he's probably their best defender as well, being a 7-footer who actually defends the rim. He's been sweet on defense, taking over fourth quarters as well. So, the not super surprising 11-2 when he plays.
Yeah.
But, he makes the team whole. I'm with you. Beal is a solid player.
Yeah.
But Durant raises their ceiling quite a bit.
The Knicks and Mavericks also won again last night. The Grizzlies held on at home to the Kings despite Ja Morant getting tossed. And then the Thunder and Trey Kirby's Bulls both won on the road in Toronto and San Antonio, respectively. I don't know if you have any notes on any of those games.
OKC is amazing.
Oh, God. That defense is insane.
It's like they play 3 guys up, and they'll get back to cover those corners. It's like they are so ready to. They force you out. I had flashbacks of the Cavs and the Warriors in the playoffs, and how the Cavs were just adamant about pushing out Curry and Clay out there. I mean, they're just all over the place.
And this is without Chet Holmgren, too, who just makes their defense even better. It's wild, yeah. Any other thoughts on any of those games, TK?
I got Bulls thoughts, but I'm saving them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's get into some wacky first quarter NBA awards. Oh, the real award show. Oh, damn, that is wacky. JD, you crazy.
So wacky.
So many colors. It's all like wavy looking. Call it wavy first quarter NBA awards, as long as with wacky. Okay, so every team in the NBA has played between 20 and 24 games, which means the 2024-25 regular season, it's about 25% complete. Sample size is sort of big enough now to draw some conclusions about some of these teams, but instead of giving out quarter season grades for every team or talking about the MVP race for the 100th time, we thought it'd be fun to hand out some made-up, wacky first quarter awards. First one, TK, get us started here. The award is What Happened to the Dude I Love? All right, we're looking for a star player maybe, but whatever player you want to go with, that is struggling and not living up to expectations that you or a majority of us had heading into the season.
I had to get a Mark Jackson connection on this one.
Yeah.
So for me, it's Klay Thompson, shooting 38% from the field right now, 36% on 3. That's league average. But this is Klay Thompson we're talking about. That's his lowest three-point percentage of his career. I'll take that over shooting 41% from 2. Klay Thompson cannot score inside. 14 of 39 in the paint so far this season. He can't jump. If there is somebody that's taller than him in the lane, it's going to be a miss. I think disappointing for Klay Thompson. It was assumed that playing alongside Luka and Kyrie, he's going to be shooting wide open shots. He's going to be knocking them down, and that clearly hasn't been the case. Quentin Grimes has outplayed Klay Thompson so far this season. Najee Marshall is probably playing about the same, but they brought in Klay to be an important guy for them in fourth quarters for him to give the space, and he's definitely doing that because you still got to respect Klay Thompson, but he wasn't good his last season in Golden State, and he's fallen off since then.
Yeah, it's not been great. I guess the hope is come playoff time, if they're in there, he can still change the outcome of a game with his shooting.
Sure.
But I mean, he looks, I hate to say it, he looks washed.
Yeah,
He does.
He does.
But again, will we be able to find like bursts of it for this team? I still believe in that, but you're not consistently, I don't think, from night to night.
No, and it's scary for him because Najee Marshall has gotten way better the last few weeks. Quentin Grimes has been balling, so why wouldn't those guys sub in for Klay Thompson at the small forward spot? Because you look at the numbers of the lineups with Klay, Kyrie, and Luka to start, they ain't all that impressive. It's when they make the substitutions that they're doing extremely well. So that's just going to be the recipe, I think, for the playoffs. They're going to sub them out. It just feels like that's the way it's going to be.
The good thing is for the Mavs, they're winning right now. You got the longest win streak in the league at 6 straight. They're 15-8. They're right there with that bunched up group that's about 2.5 games behind the Thunder. So yeah, that's good. But yeah, I think I had talked myself into like a big like resurgent comeback year for Klay Thompson after all that stuff that went on with the Warriors, but maybe they were more onto the right idea of like where he is at this point in his career. That's possible. All right, who do you have for what happened to the dude I love?
Well, there's tons of dudes that I've lost the love for. They're just not the same. I mean, we've talked about Tyrese Halliburton a ton. He just ain't the same guy. There's a drop off from him last season when he peaked. He was the best Tyrese we have seen. That team just doesn't look the same either. They just don't move the ball the same way. So there's that.
So what happened? Like, why did Tyrese Halliburton for, what was it, 6 weeks turn into Steve Nash, like 2.0? And then, like, for every remaining month after that, and obviously into this season, it's not even close.
He's podcasting too much. I don't know if it's off-court stuff that's...
I don't think so.
It's yeah, maybe he's literally going to have a peak that's extremely short in his career, or he comes back to who he is because he's stupid young.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of point to off-court stuff. This is his. I mean, this is a second year here with the same team, so he should be the same guy. I don't see why. But you come into training camp, and it's different, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have an answer.
Perplexing, yeah.
Now there's
they
just
have
more,
basically the same team.
Is the number one guy with more expectations. That's just the only sort of difference. Like there's expectations coming to the season after going to a conference finals.
True. Yeah. Okay, so Halliburton's on your list. Who else?
Oh, we got tons. Keegan Murray with the Sacramento Kings. Surprising to me. Because maybe he's got too much of an offensive role on that team because he plays a ton more. He defends really well. He rebounds really well. Rebounding high for him. But the worst shooting numbers of his 3-year career by far, right here, right now. This guy's a damn good shooter. So it's really surprising that he's playing 37 minutes a game. He's out there a lot. He defends the other team's best player. But the numbers have just dropped off. Keeg, who is this guy I'm watching? I mean, that guy could shoot, but not anymore. The numbers are odd, and I hate going through. Like to be at 28% for your 3-point shooting, that guy, it seems really
good. That is weird. That's a good one. I didn't really knew it was that bad. I mean, that's the thing. He's like the one guy trying to give effort on the defensive end.
He's solid.
And that, so maybe he's just like, damn, our team really needs this more. And it's like having an impact on his offensive game. I don't know.
Possible.
Anyone else?
Oh, the Kuz?
Oh man, yeah.
Kyle Kuzma. Who is this man? It's strange. He's got the worst shooting numbers of his career. Everywhere. 2s, 3s, free throws. He ain't the same guy. He's shooting a similar number to Keegan Murray from 3, 27.6. And so the debate becomes, I mean, maybe it's time to trade him to a team that needs some sort of complimentary guy, a role player like he played for the Lakers, just to be that role guy, play defensive, and have your role sort of diminish than what he is right here, right now. But when you're playing that poorly, it's kind of hard to see a 3-year contract and say, yeah, we want that dude. I mean, he was almost traded mere months ago to the Dallas Mavericks, and now he's making 23 this year, 21 the next year, and 19 the next year. So it's descending. Maybe that's good. But it was a weird thing to read the report when he wasn't traded, that he declined the trade because he wanted to be a number 1 or 1A or 2 guy, whatever you want to call him, in Washington, because it was going well with him and Porzingis to some degree. Again, some degree, 2 years ago. And then he's just, it's not like he's old. It's weird to see him drop off this much.
Yeah, and the Wizards, let's talk about them just quickly here. When are they going to win again? I mean, this is going to get bad. They are now 2-18. They're a minus 337 through 20 games. I saw this from Ghostface Ziller this morning. The Pistons, they were also 2-18 last year when they would eventually go on to have the worst losing streak in NBA history. They were a minus 179. So it's like almost like you're, like twice as bad maybe as the Pistons of last year.
Well, think about the Pistons last year would at least like have a lead in the fourth quarter and blow it.
Yep.
They were in close games. We're like, oh, they're going to get over the hump. The Wizards are getting blown out every game. Kyle Kuzma is 1-11 on the season. So if they want the number one pick, they shouldn't trade Kuzma because he is the ultimate tank commander in the NBA right now. Wizards won back-to-back games against the Hawks and haven't won since. And Kuzma is killing my guy, Bilal Coulibaly. Coulibaly stinks now that Kuzma is back in the lineup. No team that is trying to win should trade for Kuzma. I'm out on him. I've been a big supporter of Kuzma because I like his game. Like, he's a dribble pass shoot player. He can play a little bit of defense. He can hit a three even if the percentages aren't the greatest. He can do a little bit of everything. A real Chandler Parsons out there. You think he could help a contender? You don't want this guy on it.
You don't want him?
No good team should want Kuzma.
The Wizards, this losing streak, their next games are against the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, the Cavs, and the Celtics. I mean, that feels like 4 more losses right there. And then they have a December 19th game against the Hornets. They're hosting Charlotte.
Big game.
Potentially winnable game,
Big
but
one.
Probably not. And then a bunch of really good teams after that as well. So yeah, it could get really bad. Any other names?
I just want you got to drop in Mikal Bridges as well because he hasn't looked like the same guy. Now he is playing for the best offense in the NBA right now, so it kind of flies under the radar. After the start with him, where the 3-point shot just wasn't the same, where it seemed like he just kind of hitched, like the video game stopped at the top of his release. Things have gotten way better, and he is playing a ton out there. He's playing 38 minutes a game. And so
he played 47 minutes last night against the Hornets in a blowout.
It's a Tibby team, man.
Yeah, baby.
Tibbs is like, hell yeah, get your running.
Nice.
He's leading the league in minutes played. His shooting has gotten a little bit better. It's just a weird thing to watch. All the draft picks they gave out for him, you think he'd come out and be more than what he is, because he ain't that same aggressive guy. As John Hollinger pointed out, the guy's only shot 19 free throws this season, so he averages less than a free throw per game, which is weird. I mean, he's a really talented guy. And so the numbers have gone up. I mean, the efficiency is not good, but they've gone up since the beginning of the season. And again, he's playing for the best offense in the league. It's not quite Halliburton-y, but he kind of peaked the last couple of years where he was better. It seemed like he had more of a role, and now he's kind of dropped off. So I don't know
if they
this
didn't
is
give
Mikal
up
Bridges.
the huge haul of draft picks for Mikal Bridges. I don't think this is like as eye-opening as it is maybe with when you're like, wow, we really gave up a lot for him. But then, like Josh Hart, I think it was like, you ain't gonna care, Knicks fans, if we go on to win the title here, and we believe we're contenders. It doesn't gonna matter how many draft picks we gave up to get Mikal Bridges, and no matter how he plays. So.
Yeah, and it seems like he still fits in well, especially with Karl-Anthony Towns and how he's playing.
Yeah,
and Jalen Brunson how he's playing. Like he can fill in that complementary role, but it just sure seemed like you were gonna get more from him.
Yeah,
last 2 games he's been good.
Yeah,
50 points combined.
Turned it on a little bit here.
Seems good.
What happened to the dude I love? Just a couple more names, but guys, we talked about a lot this week. Bam Adebayo. We talked about recently, so it's like, whoa, the numbers are like, whoa, where's Bam? Jamal Murray, of course, we sort of just talked about here on the show. And then I will give it to the Sixers' big three as a collective unit. I mean, I know a lot of them aren't playing, but this is abysmal. Their season feels over already. Now, because we're not even talking about them.
Yep.
At least we were panicking for a while, and now we've just moved on. Embiid, he's only played 4 games. Paul George, when he plays, looks horrible. I know he had 1 good game that I can remember over the last little week or so, but he's only played 10 games. And then Maxey, when he was asked to do everything, hey, man, can you be Allen Iverson? He's like, yeah, I'll give you my best impersonation. I'll give you a lot of points, but it's not going to be efficient. And so I can't believe this season after so hyped we were for like the big move of Paul George and the other pieces. And this is the year, and it's like, it feels done to me. I don't know, am I over-exaggerating? I know they're in the Eastern Conference, but it doesn't feel salvageable to me.
Well, they were NBA champions in September. That's the thing, right? We're like, oh, look at this. They got a good big three. If Joel Embiid is out, Paul George can play, but that's not happening. So the season is not over. I think the Sixers can still make a run into the play-in tournament, and that's when the season is over, because they're not going to beat one of the top 2 seeds in the Eastern Conference. They couldn't beat the Celtics. I don't think they could beat the Cavs either. Those are probably who it's going to be. I would take the Knicks over the Sixers, beat them last year. And that's before even getting into the fact that Embiid is... How often is he going to play? Like, he's already not qualified for awards. No problem. He said, I don't want to qualify for awards. I want to be healthy in the playoffs. Okay. We'll see if he's healthy in the playoffs.
Okay.
Because he's not playing.
At least they have Jared McCain.
At least they have
Jared McCain.
Yeah, if everything goes perfectly, all you can hope for right now is that they finish 6th. I know that's a lot to hope for, but you ain't finishing ahead of the Celtics, the Cavs, this Orlando Magic team. There's no possible way. They're balling. The Knicks or the Bucks. The Bucks look like they have come back. So in a dream scenario, they finish 6th.
And get a matchup against the Magic or something like that.
Magic or Knicks, most likely.
All right, let's move to our next award. Taz, you get us started. I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game award. Okay, so we're talking about a surprising player or team, if you want to go that route, exceeding your expectations.
I went with members of the Memphis Grizzlies because it's not just a player. It's like a team of guys I didn't know played this well. Jake LaRavia? Excuse me? Jalen Wells? Excuse me? Jay Huff. The Huff. I just didn't know. I obviously knew who Jake LaRavia was, but now he's having his best shooting numbers in year number 3. Jalen Wells, the rook, is starting and playing extremely well. The Huff stuff, Jay Huff has found a home in Memphis, and he's playing extremely well. I mean, those are 3 names from one team. As a basketball geek, it's a little overwhelming to see what these Grizzlies are doing. Taylor Jenkins has done marvelous work, and Scottie Pippen Jr. watched him last year, but he was more of a filler on a team just full of injuries, so you didn't really expect much. But he has performed extremely well. That's 4 names I've already said. They've been without Vince Williams. They've been without Gigi Jackson. That's great performance from a bunch of guys. Santi Aldama, I knew he was awesome. I watched him in the Olympics. He knew he was coming off a good season as this fill-in role with the Memphis Grizzlies. So it goes on and on. I knew he was a badass. But then with Bane, Triple J, and John Morant, with all those, I think I mentioned, 5 names. That's 8. Zach Edey's not even playing all that much. I mean, they're getting a lot of performances. So,
and the Grizzlies bench won them the game last night against the Kings. A perfect example of what you're saying. Like the starters didn't play that well. Besides Bane, it was the bench. It was Aldama, LaRavia, Huff, Smart, Pippen Jr. even contributing a little bit. It's crazy the depth of this squad.
Classic Grizzlies, man. They literally always find extra guys. Jake LaRavia, they declined his option for next season. They're like, you're not going to be part of our team, and he's having his best season, contract year, I suppose. So good stuff for them. The Grizzlies did great when Ja went down with injury. It feels like the Grizzlies are back. I mean, I still have concerns when it comes playoff time. We just saw, who did they just lose to? They were looking ugly in the 4th quarter.
Dallas.
Come back. Dallas. Exactly game, right. 22-5 run for Dallas, and it was like the Grizzlies could not get a shot. Ridiculous turnovers.
Weird game.
They've got 3 guys they know are good. Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, Ja Morant. Those guys are closing games for you. The other 2 are question marks. Jalen Wells has been the guy. Marcus Smart was the guy against the Mavs. It didn't go well, but he's had some nice games. That's still the question mark to me, is who's going to be the closers around him, because like you're saying, is it going to be Jay Huff? I don't know. Is it going to be Zach Edey? I don't know. He's been hurt for a while. But they're a great regular season team at the very least.
Yeah. I had the Grizzlies on my list. TK, what about you? You went with a player or a team?
I went with a player, Alperen Şengün. I was not familiar with your defense. Career high in blocks for this guy, 1.2. Also adding a steal per game. Career high in rebounding as well. I was surprised to see this when I was getting into the NBA.com/stats information. He defends the 3rd most attempts within 6 feet of the rim. He allows 54.7 field goal percentage. Rudy Gobert allows 54.5% at the rim. He's putting up Gobert numbers as a rim protector. Şengün gets compared to Domantas Sabonis a lot. Şengün is a much better defensive player already than Sabonis has ever been, and I think that's a big part of the reason why the Rockets are so good this season, why they're so good defensively. He's bought in to playing defense. He improved his athleticism last year. This year, it looks like defense has been the thing. He's still a pretty efficient offensive player. He's got 3 triple-doubles so far this season. He's the hub offensively for the Rockets, but the fact that the defense is not worse when he's on the court, I think is huge for Houston and makes him a realistic playoff team.
Yeah, he can guard in space. Did not know that would happen ever.
Yeah.
With Alperen Sengun.
I have a weird pick here because this guy's like a 4-time All-Star, made a couple All-NBA selections. So we know, of course, he was good, but maybe I was concerned of him under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden. But Karl-Anthony Towns has like blown me away this season. Like he somehow has gotten better on this Knicks squad. He's averaging 25 points per game. He's shooting the hell out of the ball, 53% from the floor, then 45% from deep. And obviously taking care of the glass because he's had to play that center position because of all the injuries to their bigs, averaging 13 boards plus. Still gets you some assists. Still makes hilarious faces every single post-up. Fun game. Go into Getty Images and just look up Karl-Anthony Towns posting up or driving. The most animated face in the NBA. I think we gotta explore that short you just did on him, I think, and take it to the next level. There are a million hilarious photos. We included one of them on the thumbnail here for today's show. But
like the new Kevin Love grid split. Why isn't he all those faces? We need those.
It's nuts, but I just can't believe how seamlessly this has worked. I know we talked like, man, this is going to be an elite offense. How are you going to stop Brunson and Towns? And it took like a week or so, and then it was completely unlocked, and now they're the best offense in the league. So shout out to Cat, man. The Bodega Cat there. It's dominating.
He's awesome. And him and Brunson, it took him like 5 games to figure out how to play alongside each other, and now it's perfect. People really thought that Minnesota won the trade. For Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, they're having terrible seasons. And they've actually turned it around a little bit. Minnesota getting better on defense, but Towns has exceeded expectations. And he looks like a great vibes guy right now.
Yes.
Like he's very happy to be there, back where he kind of grew up. He's a New Jersey guy.
Yep.
I probably was a Knicks fan growing up, if I'm guessing. Playing alongside like OG Anunoby, he's making OG smile. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
He's been a perfect fit for the Knicks. Yeah, you would like him to block more shots at the rim, but guess what? You're just going to outscore the other team.
Yeah, it is slightly surprising because we all wondered, how will the lights work with him? But he's glammed up. He looks like he's leading out there, right? He looks like he was a guy that was a number one option for nearly a decade for a team, and that's what he was with Minnesota. And he did pretty damn well with him and Anthony Edwards 1 and 1A. But yeah, watching him and Brunson pick and roll, man, it is marvelous. What are you going to do? He looks so damn good. He can do anything when in that scenario. The defense is something that they have to solve as a team, but offensively, my God. He looks amazing.
If we had a traditional All-Star game, he would be starting for the Eastern Conference. But in this weird tournament we're going to have, he'll just be starting on one of the 3 NBA teams against also the rookie Sophs or whatever the hell we're doing. But he's been incredible. All right, next award here.
You got to mention the Orlando Magic. I know we've talked about them and we've talked about Franz, but just to zoom out to see what they did at the beginning. When Paolo Banchero got hurt after 5 games. They've been 13-6 since. They're on a 13-2 run without Paolo Banchero. 13-2 for this Orlando Magic team. And Franz is that guy, averaging 27.4 points, 6.7 assists, and 5.9 rebounds over that 13-2 run. That's damn good.
He basically was like, I'll replicate what Paolo did through the first part of the year, and we'll just remain elite defensively, and that'll be the strategy to win a lot of these games.
Yeah, and he is a guy that looks different because he operates in multiple ways. They set a screen for him so he can go off the ball on a runway or get him in the mid-range, and he can have a little German step back. He does the Dirk occasionally. He's the center of the offense. At times, he's stepped up and hit a shot in a guy's eye at the 3-point line. You don't think of him as that. But if he's the secondary guy beside Paolo Banchero, it looks like right now that they could be the 1-2 guys. So this is awesome to watch.
All right, next one here. It's called the Super Soph Award. The non-alien edition. Okay, we're just removing Wembanyama from this because I want to hear your most impressive sophomore player. We always talk about the rooks, but what about those second-year guys? Who jumps out to you?
It's Brandon Miller for me. I think.
Really?
Okay. I think he has been good. He's shooting nearly 11 threes. I didn't expect that from him coming into year 2. He's getting a lot of attention. He's shooting a similar 3-point percentage, but he's shooting a little bit poorer from the 2-point range. But it all balances out because you're shooting from 3. The true shooting percentage is the same. Anyways, he's got dunks. He's already got a Tissot buzzer beater. Guys in year 2, in a scenario like him, may not respond extremely well. But, besides the alien, besides Chet, I think he's the guy that stands out for me.
Okay.
In year 2.
Brandon Miller. That's a good one. Who you got on your Super Soph Award?
Brandon Miller was on my list, shooting 40%. Don't love that, but he's taking a ton of shots, and especially now with LaMelo out, it's like he might be taking 30 shots a game.
Yeah.
I kind of thought it was hard to find impressive sophomores that were not Victor Wembanyama. A lot of slumpers right now. Podziemski has been bad. Trace Jackson-Davis is struggling. Jaime Jaquez, we haven't talked about him at all.
Nope.
So I'm going with Amen Thompson.
Yeah.
You know, he's a twin, and now he's another twin. A terror twin. Shooting almost 30% from three. Not great, but it's improving, you know, and he's taking a few more. And obviously one of the most impactful defenders in the league. I wonder how long the Rockets will start Jalen Green over Amen Thompson, because I do think Thompson has played better this season, though you like maybe the theoretical shooting of a Jalen Green, the ball handling he gives you. But I feel like if Amen Thompson catches the ball at the free throw line and the guy is not touching him, he's going to score. He's going to dunk it, or he's going to find somebody for a pass. He's been really, really good. It's easy to forget that he's like a top 5 pick, I think.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like just the style of play he has. He's like a hyper Andre Iguodala in some ways. So he's been really, really good. Another key part of the Rockets.
Yeah, he's been one of the most impactful players when it comes to like team success. He leads sophomores in win shares this season, 2.2. And then it goes Derek Lively II, who I think deserves some love here as well, and Cason Wallace with the Thunder, 1.6. He's tied with Wembanyama in terms of win shares this year. Trace Jackson-Davis, interestingly enough, despite struggling at times, he's 5th there. And then Brandon Miller 6th, just under 1. But yeah, Amen Thompson, Derek Lively 2nd, and Cason Wallace were sort of my picks here if we're not picking Wemby. All right, from the youngins to the old farts. The old guys still got it award, Trey. Looking for a 35-year-old plus player that's like really impressing you still, doing incredible things at their age.
I got to fudge it here.
Okay.
For a 34-year-old man, Nikola Vucevic is back. He was one of the worst starters in the league last season.
Right.
In 23-24, 5th worst true shooting percentage among any players that made 50 or more shots, 54%. He was the 2nd worst three-point shooter in the league among qualifying players, behind only Franz Wagner. He shot 63% at the rim as a near 7-footer. That's in the 20th percentile among centers. Somehow this year, after going for 39, 8-5 against the Spurs last night, Jeremy Sohan could not handle him. In 24-25, Nikola Vucevic has got the best true shooting percentage of his career, 8th in the NBA right now, a very nice 69% true shooting percentage, shooting 47% from 3 right now, on the highest three-point rate of his career, also finishing at the rim, 72%. That's 50th percentile. If you're that big, you got to be able to make some shots at the rim, even if you're only right in the middle. Josh Giddey has been good for Vucevic. He finds Vucevic in his spots, gets him open threes, and somehow this guy is making them. He's like the Orlando Magic guy that fooled the Bulls into trading for him. So who's going to get suckered in now is the question. Because I'm seeing some of the contending teams in the league fans saying, we got to get us a Vooch. The Warriors, they might want a Vooch. The Lakers would love a Vooch, wouldn't they? We'll see how it goes for those teams. I wish the trade deadline was December 15th, not in February,
right.
But Vooch is on fire right now.
Yeah.
He's had an awesome start to the season.
It's a good one. 34 years
34.
old. Yeah,
Like,
that's
he's
right.
34.
Hey,
I was hoping he would turn 35 this season.
He just
Got an
turned
October
34.
24 birthday.
That's all right.
Unfortunately,
He's old enough. He feels older too.
Yeah, been around a long time.
right,
Wide jaw.
Vucci, baby.
You can
who
see
you
the
going?
Warriors putting them on their roster. I know it. They're the team. They're the team that wants to make a deal, and if there's
Right.
someone better isn't available, listen, he's playing well. There's no doubt about it. This is the best Vooch we've ever seen.
Who are you going with? As guys still got it.
I went to the line of 35 years
Okay.
old, and James Harden is very good at 35 years old. I know the percentages ain't all that sexy, but he's a bit of an innings eater here on the basketball floor, because no one else has to perform all that well, because he's taking so much pressure off others, because he's got the ball in his hands at all times, and the Clippers are exceeding expectations with him doing that. They have not needed Kawhi Leonard. They have not been in headlines about Kawhi Leonard at all so far this season, because they're just friggin' winning games. And James Harden has to get a lot of credit for that. And he has this, the occasional 43 and 39 point game. He's got those flashes. he's had those are monstrous games. A lot of them have been lower, and the percentages ain't all that high. He's had those two high-scoring games, and the rest are under 30. But it is wild to think about that this guy is still doing it here in year 16. He never misses games. Literally, when we think about guys who miss, 10 to 12 games a season, we're like, oh, that guy plays a lot. This guy has been doing more than that for 16 years. Yeah. A lot of games. He's been eating it. And so, calling him an inning eater is a little mean when it comes to the basketball floor. But because he's got the ball in his hands, guys like Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, they don't have to have the ball in their hands. So they're just in a catch-and-shoot scenario or, a secondary playmaker guy. So he's helped out big time. Again, the Clippers are they're damn good, 14-10.
Calling someone an innings eater in 2024... that's a compliment in the NBA, man.
Especially on the Clippers.
Yeah, you're playing. Yeah, good point.
They're like, you play, Paul George doesn't, we'll give you $200 million.
But he's a Hoffer. He's a Hall of Famer. So an innings eater, me.
It's a Hoffer.
At this point in his career, he's an innings eater a little bit. Yeah. I mean, they're 22nd in offense. They're not good offensively.
Yeah.
He's shooting under 40%, under 35% from three as well. But he's got a large responsibility, and he's not bad defensively. They're not getting killed when he's out there. So I had Harden on my long list as well.
Yeah,
if
and
you wanted to actually follow the rules.
If you wanted to follow the rules. Well, a little trivia question here. James Harden is one of 5 guys over the age of 35, currently averaging 20 points per game or more. Can you name the other 4? LeBron James. He's averaging 22.3 points per game. That looks weird. Looks so low for LeBron. Steph, yes, 22.6.
KD.
That's correct, 25.8. He leads all the oldies.
Jimmy Butler is not there.
No, he's close. He's 18.7.
30.
You're missing one guy. Yeah, good. Here we go. Good trivia question. I'm gonna find out when he turned 35. See how? Okay, he's like 35 and a half almost.
Okay, so
August.
Legitimately 35.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Really, we both know him well. Both of us, all of us, I should say.
DeMar DeRozan?
DeMar DeRozan.
There you go.
Yeah. 22.7 points per game for the 35-year-old.
Yeah, I should have known that because he's on my list of guys who performed.
There you go.
Year 16 for this guy. He scored over 20 more for the last 13 seasons, including this one.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points.
So my answer for the old guy still got it is definitely Kevin Durant's shooting ability, which is just the lights out when he does play. Now he's like getting already close to missing half the game, so that sucks. And then a little love to sexy Al Horford. Man, every time you watch a Celtics game, you're like, how this guy's so damn good still? Like, just such a winning player, and, gonna try and help them go back-to-back. That guy's trying to go back-to-back in both college and the NBA. I wonder how many guys have ever done that. Can't be a long list.
Kareem.
Wow. Good
I'm
call.
guessing. Yeah, I mean, who else would it be?
Gotta be
Not
very
Christian
few guys.
Leitner. Not Grant Hill.
No,
the hard part is finding the back-to-back college guys.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So we got a few more awards here. Next one is the Ray Finkle. Who the hell is that award? Remember that scene from Ace Ventura where he sees Ray Finkle in the poster? Who the hell is that? Asking to Courtney Cox.
Einhorn is Finkle.
So we're looking for your favorite, most obscure player this season.
Well, I heard you guys talk about Cam Christie the other day.
Yeah.
And I said, whoa. You were asking who's older, Max Christie or
We were doing this off the air, right?
Yeah.
Just cool chat.
Well, I asked, I was like, is Cam Christie Max Christie's twin brother? I think they look identical.
Yeah,
but they're not. They're one. Cam is younger.
Max, the Laker, is older. Cam is on the Los Angeles Clippers. Yeah, I didn't know that. The second round pick from this year. He's played in one game. I didn't know.
Didn't know this guy.
And he's so unknown. Basketball Reference will always show the relatives. It'll say brother, but he's on Max's page as a brother.
Yeah.
But Max is not on Cam's page.
Oh, wow.
There's no siblings.
We got to update that.
Yeah, it's weird.
As Basketball Reference ambassadors, we will update that.
Cameron Hannaford Christie, his full name, and Cormac Carl Christie Jr. is Max. Now I see it. Because his name is Cormac Carl Christie Jr.
That's a cool name.
That's Max's name.
I don't know.
It's got to be the first Cormac in NBA history. I don't know. Maybe in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah. I don't know.
With Harry the Horse Gallagher.
Do you know another Cormac in your life?
In my life, the only Cormac I'm familiar with is Cormac McCarthy, the author.
Oh. You know what? There was a guy named Cormac Ryan who played in the NBA. Wait, did he ever make the NBA? Ooh, maybe not. But he's
biggest
in a
busts.
Thunder jersey. Cormac with not a K on the end, though.
He's in a Thunder jersey.
Yeah.
So a recent Cormac. That's
well,
impressive.
yeah, but he never played. Why? That's interesting. He has a basketball reference page. But anyway.
Those guys are double C's, though. Yeah, Cormacs.
Oh, there's no K on the end.
No.
Oh.
No. Like, yes, there's no K on the end. Very weird.
interesting.
And the fact that they both have names that start with C, and their Christies start with C, of course.
Do you think they live together? They're both playing in LA.
Yeah?
They should. Yeah.
I mean, they must have been like really pissed to find out about the Intuit Dome, because he could have been playing in the same arena.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But now there's one of I don't know. Maybe one of them's got to commute. I guess.
Yeah. Where's the spot at?
Maybe they're right in between.
Silver Lake?
Who do you have for the Ray Finkle? Who the hell is that award?
I had a few. I ran into the similar no relative problem here. Pat and Cam Spencer. Two insurance agents. They are brothers, but on Basketball Reference, not yet brothers. Pat Spencer, Cam Spencer.
Wow.
I also like Antonio Reeves.
Yeah.
Had 34 points in a loss against Cleveland. In his other 11 games, has scored 30 points total. What happened? Drew Peterson has replaced Evan Fournier as the NBA player you do not want to Google. And my number one Ray Finkle award is Moussa Diabate.
Oh, I like him.
I love him.
Yeah, I do too.
Third season on a two-way. He's just an offensive rebounding specialist. That's all he does. 20 minutes per game. He averages 3.6 offensive rebounds and 3.1 points per game.
At pickup runs, that guy would be drafted high. You'd be like, get that guy on our team. He's going to go get every miss, man. Yeah. And he's just going to get the ball back to us.
Hey, Hornets are 30th in the league in field goal percentage. They need an offensive rebounder.
Nice.
And now I gotta Google Drew Peterson. I think the only thing, the headlines that he's making. Did you see Gilbert Arenas watching the Boston Celtics game when he was watching Peyton Pritchard and Drew Peterson on the floor at the same time and saying, you can't have an 11 and a 15 on the same floor at the same time? That hurt.
13.
Oh, he said
Drew
50.
Peterson's 13, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I have
15.
a few other Ray Finkles. Trenton Flowers.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a guy.
That's not Trenton Watford?
No.
Different guy.
Trenton Flowers. What a name. That's a cool name. He's a Clippers guy, right? I think.
Yeah,
I think so.
Pretty sure. Yeah, I saw him yesterday.
And then look, I shared this on Twitter yesterday. Pelicans rookie Karl-Anthony. I was like, who the hell is this guy and who does he look like? That was the biggest thing. It was bugging me. He's like a I think he's Croatian or maybe he's Bosnian actually. He's like a big tall guy, plays for the Pelicans. He was drafted years ago and sort of stashed, and now he's there and got a little bit of a burn. I think we have a photo. And it's like, who the hell does this guy look like? A lot of votes for Landry Shamet, which I definitely see.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf, how do you say that guy's name? The actor?
Yeah.
I see it in the eyes, maybe the nose a little bit. Anyway, I got a lot of responses to this. So, Karlo Matkovic, probably that latter better, but yeah, that's a guy that's in the NBA.
That's a guy. I don't think I knew that the Pelicans jersey sponsor was New Age Grills. Is this mouth grills or food grills?
I would assume food grills, but
It's New Orleans.
yeah, that's
The
true.
No Limit Soldiers were heavy in the grill game.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's true. Final one here. We'll move quickly. Mr. Dunk Score. I want to know who's been the best dunker this season. To you. Who wants to get us started?
I've been keeping dunk scores.
No. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to worry about the dunk score.
No, I'm not worried about it.
Do you have a favorite dunker this year?
All the Jalen's.
All the Jalen's. You're right.
Double Jalen's.
Brown's been awesome. Green's been awesome.
And Jalen Johnson.
Yep.
Jalen Johnson's been awesome.
I don't know about Jalen Wells throwing down. I don't think Brunson's dunked this year. But anyway, those three, you're right. There's a lot more Jalen's, isn't there? It's like 8 more probably.
Jalen Brown dunked on a Jalen Smith. Hard.
Wow.
Yeah, he did.
Real hard.
Jalen on Jalen crime. Yeah, I wrote down Mr. Dunk Score to all the Jalen's. Green, Johnson, Brown. Maybe in that order, I think, too. But
Oh, definitely, yeah. Jalen Green and Jalen Johnson are the only guys who have 2 dunks each in the top 50 on dunk score.
Oh, wow.
I did dunk score research.
Okay.
I would have them both in the dunk contest. Different styles.
Hell
Jalen
yeah.
Green we've seen once upon a time.
Oh, that was bad.
That was bad. but it could be better this time.
He did the top shot dunk.
He did the top shot dunk. Look, it was 2021.
Yeah,
weird stuff was happening back then, you know. But I would throw those two guys in there, and also Matas Buzelis and Shaden Sharp would be my complete
way to
contest
round
at
out,
this point.
Way to round out that dunk score, dunk contest.
Yep.
Oh man, imagine they use dunk score in the dunk contest.
John Collins is back, baby. We're bringing back all the worst dunk contest dunkers for the contest, basing it on dunk score.
John Collins, Jalen Green.
They're the top two right now.
Jalen Brown's been in it. The dunk contest?
Yes, he has.
Yeah, well, he did the glove, yeah.
He did the glove.
Wow, okay, we just...
Jay Huff. He's got a lot of them on there. For whatever reason, Jay Huff catching a reverse alley-oop, which he almost always does, rates very highly in the style category.
I guess the other big dunks this year, Christian Brown had a monster. Brandon Miller's had a couple big good ones. He had a nice one last night, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
I didn't think any of the good dunks were at the top, but after John Collins, it is Jalen Green and Jalen Brown and Brandon Miller.
There's some good ones.
And then the Christian Brown one, that should be included as well. That was a monster on Rudy.
Yeah, it's
up there.
I'm doing a bit right now over on Blue Sky that I share the highest dunk score rated dunk of the night every day. And like, I'd say it feels like 25% of the time they got it correct, in my opinion. Like, where like, wow, that was the best dunk last night. Most of the time it's like there was like another dunk or two that are like better, but for whatever reason it scores high. So it's people are now getting upset with me though. They think I am doing the dunk score. And I'm like, no, I am pointing out how silly this is.
Oh, this is real. This is really tracked.
I love it.
Out of 120. It's so funny.
Okay, let's get to Tass's worst of the week. No, best of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best of the week.
Great stuff there, JD. The animation looks great. And I thought the best of the week stories were just better. The more positive stories were frankly just better.
Okay.
3 nominees. You tell me which one is the best one. I started off here with the legend Carmelo-Anthony defending 76ers Jared McCain. He was adamant. We know McCain uses TikTok. He's got 4 million followers.
Damn.
I think he's the first avid TikTok player first TikToker who's also an NBA player. Avid
definitely.
TikTok.
Right.
You know, there's WNBA players out there. But yeah, he's killing it. Anyways.
He was like a TikTok star before he became an NBA player. That's amazing.
So
I feel like if Zac Efron just became an NBA player.
And he's still killing it. He is different. He also paints his fingernails from time to time. And Carmelo said people shouldn't criticize him for that. I'm going to quote something he told Complex this week. Melo said, quote, "That's the generation now. We've got to fall back. It ain't our time no more, man. This is a young man's sport. This ain't our time. We can't keep laying down the iron fist when we only don't agree with something. Let them boys be themselves, man. Let them do what they do and have their fun. They do it differently than we did. We can't be mad at that. That's 2 totally different generations. If you've got to keep painting them fingernails, man, he's still hooping." And that's the end of the quote.
Wow.
I like that.
That was Melo at the end? I didn't know if that was Tass Mellis or Melo at the last line.
Yeah.
All right.
He's still hooping.
Yeah. Who cares? That's a great point from Melo.
That's a great point.
And like, he's not the first. Like I know Jalen Green definitely had painted nails. I'm sure there's tons of guys.
I would guess Rodman is the first. That was 30 years ago.
Right. I guess
It's been happening a while.
I meant the first this generation, or guys that I remember at do it. But yeah.
Yes. I don't know his background on TikTok all that clearly, but I went on there yesterday to see what's up, to see what I'm talking about, and he's still doing it every day, I guess. I don't know, every couple days.
Doing what?
Either
a
dance, generally.
Okay.
He gets Kyle Lowry in one.
I did
yesterday.
see that one. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, Kyle was sort of into it, sort of not knowing what he was doing it, but
he lip syncs a lot of Drake songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, if you go back far enough, you're like, oh, there's Khalil Ware doing a dance with him when they're 16 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, he's done a lot of dances with a lot of people, and his teammates at Duke as well.
Yeah, like he's been on like the Team USA under 18 teams, and like, I mean, that's TikTok heavy right there. So you're like scouting out potential NBA players based on their dance moves. And you guys know my theory: all good NBA guards can dance. We should have known that Jared McCain was going to be a hooper.
You're right.
And to support Melo and give him some nominee push here. He said on the new generation of players and why they can feel like themselves. He said, quote, "They are fearless. They don't care what nobody says." So I like how Melo ain't just playing the old man, and he's allowing the young people to be young and be himself. That's your first nominees.
With Lowry and the Jared McCain TikTok, it was funny, right? Like Lowry's the old guy. I saw you comment on it, Trey. I think I saw Ziller as well. It blew my mind that Lowry has a son that's closer in age to Jared McCain than Lowry is to Jared McCain. Wow, it's like, whoa, holy crap. Yeah, he's like twice as old as him.
Yeah, 2 sons. Yeah. Or 2 kids at least that are closer in age.
Wow.
Kyle Lowry's old.
Yeah, he's like 38, isn't he?
Yeah.
All
right, he's a 35 plus.
Yeah,
he is a 35
He's not playing all that well, though.
Nah.
Second nominee here, Karl-Anthony Towns, because he tells OG Anunoby to stop touching the reporter's microphone. He is adamant about it. OG has been doing his post-game interviews, and while he's being interviewed this season, he's grabbed the mic and just yanked it.
Yep.
While Karl-Anthony Towns, he's being a leader on the New York Knicks, and when he saw that happen yesterday, he said, "Don't touch that microphone." I think we've got the clip, Jay.
Working for you in that third quarter?
I mean, winning is fun, so when we're playing good.
I knew this was going to be an adventure. It always.
Winning is fun, so when we're playing good.
I knew this was going to be an adventure. It always is.
Stop grabbing the mic.
Cat leading. I like it.
Leading the production.
I guess. He's done it multiple times.
Yeah.
Did he do it back in the Raptors days?
I couldn't remember.
I feel like he would. It'd be a thing that he would do. Because I don't know why. Maybe I'm just seeing it now and I feel like he would, but I could be wrong.
It's like, though, the Knicks, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like not every team does the interview where the whole crowd hears you. You know what I mean?
Not all of them.
Like, sometimes it's just for the broadcast and the television, and maybe that's a little bit more, all right, I'll ask you the question, okay, see you later. And this is, like, more for the crowd, and so I feel like he's more, like, naturally wants to, like, almost like a hype man.
Yeah, it happens. Brooklyn does it. John Collins was doing it in Utah. But Cat...
But that's on the reporter,
But Cat said at the last line there, he said, that's his job. He was defending MSG reporter there. Alan Hahn. That's his job. Let him do it.
Wasn't Towns like a Knicks junior reporter when he was in high school and middle school?
Right,
so he understands the protocols out there.
Control the
technique for sure, yeah.
Yeah, before he was drafted, he knew how to perform in front of the mic. I mean, he knew. He was great with that. He was pushed by Calipari. Calipari knew that he was going to be good at it. And speaking of people who knew what they're doing, I apologize, JD. I thought we were going to talk over that, but stupid me. Obviously, we should hear that.
I assumed you wanted it to sound up. So.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, my bad. All right, third and final nominee here. I'm giving it to the great Adrian Wojnarowski and also his son, Ben Wojnarowski. As we know, Woj quit his job at ESPN this year, and this week he told Chris Mannix he had been diagnosed with prostate cancer earlier this year. And that's what's making the headlines, but that wasn't the reason he left the job. Now, it seems like he has the prostate cancer under control. I wanted to highlight why he left the job, because he said when his friend and colleague at ESPN, Chris Mortensen, passed and he was at Mortensen's memorial, he said, quote, to Chris Mannix, he said, "It made me remember that the job isn't everything. I didn't want to spend one more day of my life waiting on someone's MRI or hitting an agent at 1 a.m. about an ankle sprain." So I think that's important. And his son, Ben, told his dad, he said, "Dad, quote, people think your job is great. I think your job sucks. Retire and go travel with mom," is what his son said. And Adrian Wojnarowski told Chris Mannix this week. So circling back just to bring it all together, the guy knows what's important. Done and done. That's it. 3 nominees.
Okay, good nominees.
Melo, Cat, and the Wojnarowski family. There.
And I think Woj said something on Twitter along the lines of, "I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. It's not anything really to worry about right now. I wanted this announcement of my diagnosis to be out there so that other people in my situation get screened for prostate cancer as well." So that's also great to hear.
Yes, the earlier you can detect it, the better.
Yep.
So good call there. Good nominees for Best of the Week. Who's your winner? Let us know in the stream team right now. Let us know in the comments or tweet at us at @NoDunksInc. Good stuff, Tess. All right, it's the first Friday of the month. That means it's time for 5-Star Friday Reviews.
What a show you people are getting today. Look at this.
Like the graphic package that JD's cooking with right now. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the graphic packages are incredible, but how many segments are we doing?
There's been a lot.
We talked about games.
Yeah.
We made up awards. We did best of the week. We've got 5-Star Friday, and guess what? We've got a 5th segment coming up, Rapid Fire. Enjoy your weekend, people. It's cold out here in the United States. You're going to be inside listening to this podcast the whole weekend. Lucky you.
Hopefully you're reviewing it too.
That's right.
I would listen to it and then I would go and watch it, or vice versa.
Yeah. Sure.
Like run it back.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. One play each.
Yeah.
These are our 5-Star Friday reviews for the month of December. First one, straightforward review from podcast listener JB. Jalen Brown, thank you. Now that Zach Lowe's on the shelf, ramping up soon, don't know. No Dunks is my go-to pod. Can't wait to hear TK read this review next Friday.
Damn.
There you go.
Called a shot.
Called the shot, yeah. I mean, I was choosing between several that had my name in them, so.
Oh. Yeah, see, now they know that you curate these, that you're going to do it. Yeah,
Yes.
Smart.
Killed it, JB.
Bit of a backhanded compliment, though.
A bit of it.
Yeah.
It's like now that the Professor Zach Lowe is gone, I guess I'll listen to you guys now.
Slum it with these idiots.
Damn. It's like, okay. But anyway, happy to have
busy.
you.
He's on Instagram now.
Who Zach Lowe is.
Yeah. He wasn't before.
Oh, let's get Zach Lowe on TikTok doing dances.
Good bit.
Or Zach Lowe drinking one beer on TikTok and talking about it would be hilarious.
Zach Lowe, one beer. That's the name of the account.
Yeah, it's like, you're doing the
Here's
doing
today's
the Portland
beer.
pizza thing, but just with a beer.
Yeah.
I like it.
Different brands.
It's a great idea.
Craft beer.
Just giving it away right now.
I know.
Giving it away. All right, our next one from Telepod Jr., newbie over yonder. I remember the first time Trey said, "Ayo." I thought you guys were a cult or something. Anywhere, where did that come from? Also, I listen to your podcast every day on the bus home, and it is an awesome experience. Thank you, Telepod Jr.
Over yonder.
Over yonder.
Think he's riding a double-decker bus?
Yes.
Could be.
He could be.
Yeah.
Comment back to us with another 5-star review letting us know your location on the bus, and I'll tell you where AO came from. But I'm not revealing it until then. Unless you want to go back into the Basketball Jones archives 15 years ago when I told the story of Dave Norman. Well, too much. Our next podcast comes from Nesdom24, the absolute best. I've been listening for almost 10 years now. This is my favorite podcast by far. The crew's absolutely hilarious, and it's always a good way to pass the time. Highly recommend 10 out of 10.
That is just a by-the-book, perfect 5-star review.
Just nice.
Just calling it like he sees it.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. 10 years. Great.
It's amazing.
Thank you. Not the longest listener we've had, though. This is 5 stars since 2006. Baron Rich.
Whoa.
Not sure what my first episode was, but it was well before the video days. Included music they didn't have license to use. And every few episodes were canceled because someone had to go to work or a doctor's appointment, etc. Still then and now, every episode is a classic. And that's from Baron.
Wow, JD, how about that? 06 days. And do you remember episodes that we would just, I guess, take off because somebody had a doctor appointment? Yeah. I don't really recall that either. But
Never.
Sure.
That never happened.
No?
Well, it did happen once.
You had your child.
You had a child.
Lincoln.
Well, yeah.
That was the first
we
time.
had to stop mid.
We were recording an episode, and then it was like, hold on, my wife is giving
I
birth.
have to leave.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 months early. So
Right. Yeah. And this was, for those that are new, we weren't live back in those days.
We weren't
it was
live.
just a recorded thing.
Yeah.
Did Tass and I just let ourselves out?
We were doing it over Skype that one.
Oh, that was a Skype one.
It was one of the playoff shows. It was finals show.
Oh, it wasn't in your house. Okay.
Yeah, so it was post game, wrap up.
You just hung up the Skype
I was
call.
like,
and
bye.
Bye.
Click.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that sound was a great Skype sound.
Man, Skype, one of the all-time fumbles out there. Ooh. That was the first video chat program any of us ever really used, right? COVID comes around, nobody used Skype. Zoom completely stole their corners.
Zoom. Obviously, FaceTime had a play in this as well, just to be able to talk to each other on your phone, face to face. Yeah.
Oprah used to have guests on via Skype.
Yeah.
Remember that? Not anymore.
No.
R.I.P. Skype. Final one comes from Mr. Bigglesworth Jr. Lovingly disappointed. Best podcast out there, NBA or otherwise. Slightly disappointed in the Skibbity Ohio Riz references. I teach middle school and I'm on Thanksgiving break, so hearing those words gave me involuntary body shivers. Let me forget about that nonsense for a few days before I'm back to work. Fair enough, Mr. Bigglesworth.
Mr. Bigglesworth. Man, I hope that's your real name. What a professor.
Mr. Bigglesworth. Great stuff. Thank you for the reviews. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, I said this the other day, but for everyone sharing the Spotify Wrapped list that no dunks or no buffs or even is this good appear on, we really appreciate that. So continue to do so and tag us on the IGs. That's where we're sort of sharing a lot of those. Okay, before we get to rapid fire, pick'em game tonight, Tass. Trey picked up a quality win last night, taking doubles. Everybody else had Spurs, so that's a loss for everybody else. Where are we going, though?
You know what? Before we get to it, somebody's claiming that we should have a worst of the week nominee because we missed a wedgie.
We did.
Phoenix and the Pelicans. We did.
I think it's true. There's a jump ball in the first quarter.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah.
And?
Here it goes.
You sure it's not after the
ball up.
whistle?
Oh, a clean one. A clean 3-point shot. Looks like it's from Herb.
Wow.
Well, just like when JD was having a son, we got to cancel the show, start over, and get that wedgie in.
Where were the people on that one?
Yeah, it was Herb Jones.
Where were the people?
I generally check the No Dunks Twitter account or IG every morning to see if somebody's letting us know about a wedgie, and I didn't see a damn thing.
Half-Life Heroes says that he reported it here on the stream team.
Well, okay.
No, on the stream team he reported that he reported it. So he said it somewhere.
Hey,
anyway.
Tweets get lost, man.
We'll track it down.
I can't trust X anymore.
We'll find it.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Let's go to the pick'em from tonight. The Lakers are visiting the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks are favored by 4.5. Seems big, does it not?
Well, they're on a win streak.
It does.
They are rolling, baby. So the Hawks have to win by 5 or more. Esh, the season seat holder, he's taking the Hawks, of course.
Sure.
And I'm going with the Hawks as well. You guys can literally lose by 4 or less by picking the Los Angeles Lakers.
I know, that line's, yeah.
It's really weird because the last 2 losses by the Lakers have been by a combined 80 points.
Yeah. Right.
So it feels like the Hawks,
Exactly.
having won 5 in a row, could win. But these are the Hawks. You never know.
And you said Ash, season ticket holder, but do we know that he hasn't sold his Hawks ticket tonight to some Lakers fan? Because that's going to be a 50-50 crowd tonight. Yeah. You know, Lakers fans,
Might be able to
Hawks
make their
fans.
money
It actually makes for a
Yeah.
fun atmosphere. I've said before, I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. It's an interesting line. You obviously are with me there, TK. Going the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Big
It's a shrug. It's like you lose 2 games by a combined 80 points. You should try and bounce back. I also factor in the fact that the Hawks get up for good teams, which means the Lakers have a shot tonight.
Yeah, maybe. We will see.
LeBron questionable at this time.
Ooh, that would be
So-
the first game he'd miss.
Yes. Won't
If
get
he
in
does.
the 82.
What's Trae Young's status? Is he a go tonight? I know he's dealing with an injury, but I'm not
The
sure if
bad
he's playing.
Achilles, I think.
He does. He's dealing with that. I'm not sure his status, though. I think he was probable.
Okay.
According to my fantasy team, he still wanted to battle through.
Oh yeah, you got Trae Young.
I might go see that game, be my first of the season.
Hey,
Why not?
Get ready before the NBA Cup for Vegas.
See,
See him in person.
they could literally go on a streak into the NBA Cup. Could you imagine the Atlanta Hawks go to the finals of the NBA Cup having won? I guess it'll be at least 7. There's probably another game in there. Probably 8 in a row.
Yeah, you know, it's funny.
Going to
Like
the semifinals at the
there
very
are.
least.
I was just now that you say that, like I'm thinking through the teams that are obviously in the quarterfinals, and some of them have had championships in their franchise, but there are squads like obviously the Hawks, the Magic, who in the West, the Thunder. But there are
Kings.
Kings aren't.
Oh, are we
Yeah, yeah.
saying teams that are
Yeah,
in the
I'm
cup?
thinking like
Okay.
you know, like we're like legit would mean something more than
Yeah.
the Lakers winning it, or like if the Bucks or the Warriors go on to win it. You know, Rockets obviously have some way long time ago, but anyway. All right, Lakers Atlanta. That's the game tonight. Let's end this Drop podcast with some rapid fire fun. Trey, you got the questions, we got the answers.
Rover.com just released its annual report, which looks at millions of pet names submitted by pet parents and found that the top trending sports-related dog name of 2024 was Brunson. Up 161% over last year. Fellas, what's a good NBA name for a dog?
Okay, love the question, Trey, but I'm like, man, I feel like we've done this before. So instead of NBA players, I'm going with NBA officials that would make good dog names. I got 3. Barnacky. That's Brent Barnacky. He's an official, okay? I think Barnacky's not a bad name for a dog.
Yeah, totally.
How about this one? Guthrie. Come here, Guthrie.
Right. Yeah, David.
David Guthrie. That's Ref Bay. And then final one, you got to go full name if you're naming your dog this. Zach Zarba.
Come here, Zach Zarba. I love it.
So Barnacky, Guthrie, and Zach Zarba. I think pretty good dog names.
Solid.
Zach Zarba, also a great name for a zebra.
Yes.
And if the NBA hadn't changed referee uniforms, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Too bad. Tass, what are you naming your NBA dog?
Well, if I ever got a dog, I definitely would take it outdoors a lot.
Okay.
So I'm calling it Longy Walker.
That's an awesome Mellis pun. That's brilliant.
That's
good.
Great one.
I mean, I would have an argument with my loved ones as to what we would call them. And I think Charles Barkley would probably win the argument.
Yeah, that's classic.
Because that's classic. Barkley. But yeah, Longy Walker would be my favorite.
Walker. So good. I love that.
JD, can you beat that?
No, I can't. But I'm going off the court as well.
Yeah.
You're going to think it's on the court. The name is Green, okay? And the reason I'm going with Green is because that's all I hear in this house when they're playing. My kids are playing NBA 2K because green is what you say when the bucket's going in, right?
Oh,
like
really?
the thing turns green. And it's spilled into for watching a live action basketball games like green before it goes in.
Wow.
And if we're watching Premier League, same thing, shot on goal, green. So if we have a dog named Green and it comes every time they say green, they'll stop saying green.
Is this like just Doyle slang, or is this like
honestly,
kid slang that we don't know about? I like it.
It could. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
Yeah.
Ask your kids, guys.
There's been a lot of green around here.
Yeah, that's good.
You know Ash will be chiming in.
Yeah.
It's going to be kid slang.
Yeah, I mean, I assume it is. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I do like it better than cash. I like it to replace cash.
Yeah. Green.
Yeah.
I'm a big, when we play pickup hoops and, kick it to the guy that you want to hit it. TK was on fire last night for 3. I'm a big bang. I'm a big Mike Breen out there.
Big bang.
I say bang, meaning like let it rip. Let's go.
It's a good name for a dog, too. Bang.
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 Yeah. Snow Barnacky.
You're right.
Brent Barnacky. All right, next one.
After a win over the Hornets, we talked about this. Sixers rookie Jared McCain posted a TikTok with his teammate Kyle Lowry looking confused in the background. As we said, Kyle, his kids are closer in age to Jared McCain than he is, so maybe green is a good answer here. We've definitely done this question before, but like I said, Tass, we're all getting older every day. When's the time you felt really old? A new old time.
Playing Fortnite. And I'll give you just a quick story. Over the Thanksgiving holiday, we went to our friends Bill and Cheryl's house for Thanksgiving. A bunch of kids there, a couple of kids from the basketball team. My godson was there. They're in the room playing Fortnite the entire time, right? But throughout the night, Andreas kept coming out to me, specifically me, going, hey, you want to come play Fortnite? And I'm like, no, not really. No, thanks, but no. And he came back like 3rd, 4th time. Anyway, the point of the story is, I was like, okay, I'll play, right? Eventually go play. My God, did I feel old. I had a blast, though. At one point, I'm running around a tree while a guy's trying to shoot me. It was very funny. But this kid, smart kid, he doesn't have Fortnite. This is my buddy Grish, our buddy Grish, your buddy Grish. This is his son. And they just sort of refused to get it. So he was like, well, hold on. If I get Uncle Phil in on this, loving Fortnite, then maybe that'll warm up mom and dad into getting it. I kid you not, this kid had Fortnite on his system like the 2 days later. It worked like a charm.
Incredible.
Because Grish was asking, like, so what is it? Because he didn't even know, right? I was like, they're shooting guns, but it's sort of cartoony. It is fun. I get the pros and cons of it.
Sure.
But what a move. I was like, that's smart, man. You got me.
stroke.
You hooked me, and
Yeah.
you knew that would be your in to get Dad to come around to Fortnite. And it's fun as hell.
It's smart. Yeah, there's a reason Fortnite
It's
is cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Dropping in. They're telling me to go get this.
Don't forget to thank the bus driver.
That's right. Anyway, that's my answer.
Great
Little
one.
story time.
For me, it was yesterday. I felt a lot older because I was trying to use the new operating system, the new iOS. I was trying to just transfer some damn files. You know how you can occasionally share files with people, like using the share folder? Because we were recording or editing, Ash and I, together, the new palming is back,
Right.
carrying is back. So I had a bunch of videos, so I didn't want to send it via text or via Slack. So I wanted to do that new share folder, not the new share folder, the share folders that you can do. But under the new operating system, it's freaking annoying.
They ruined the photo app.
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
so bad.
Apparently, you can
very
like go
different.
through and do all these settings to get it back to like what it was, I guess. But yeah, I saw a lot of people.
No, I'm just
upset.
gonna deal with it being bad.
All right.
I can't figure it out.
All right.
Too old.
Yeah, but I figured when you're sharing a folder, there wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be that
simple,
hard.
yeah.
It'd just be like one of those, the boxes with the arrow sticking out of it. Share it, and I share it, or whatever, just to set
But
it
he
up.
couldn't access it, or
He couldn't access it. It was just an empty folder. Anyway,
so he could access it, but just nothing there.
yeah. So I texted it, which works really well on the Apple devices. I should have just done that in the first place, probably. But yeah, either way, I have these couple folders here. They're just waiting to be filled. Anyway, it was so weird. It was just really a weird experience. Really weird experience. It should be easier. Anyway, yeah.
JD, when's the
Yeah.
time you felt really old?
I mean, pick a moment, guys. And I always feel old. The latest was I was watching Hard Knocks. The new one just came out mid-season, AFC North. I'm a big football guy, as you know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not at all, but
But you sort of have turned into more
yeah,
of a football guy.
I like it. I do like it.
I like it.
I do like it.
Anyway, the Ravens coach, they're like looking back at his sort of career, I guess. He's like, yeah, he became a coach in 2008 of the Baltimore Ravens. I'm like, yeah, big whoop. Like, it was like 2-3 years ago, right? No. It's 2024, you guys. It's like 16, 17 years. How did that happen?
Yeah, you're right. 08 doesn't seem that old.
No.
Doesn't sound
It seems
old.
like yesterday.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But that's because we're just completely jumping a decade.
Yeah.
Is I think what's happening, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm like, why does this footage look so grainy?
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, right. Anyway, that's it.
Okay.
Good one.
That's it, but literally every day. It's, yeah. Every time
Well,
my kid says
you're working with us
greens-
young whippersnappers,
I know. That's the other thing. I'm like, God damn. The day I met Hasmelis, I felt old.
Wow. Look, you were 10 years older.
I was 10
Yeah,
years older.
yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I'm still 10 years older. That's
Damn.
weird.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
I'm playing in a basketball league and I got gray hair, obviously, and I'm the only one in the league until I saw another guy and I was like, oh. Went up and talked to him after the game. I said, it's great to see another guy with gray hair out here playing. How old are you? 29.
Oh, damn.
I was like, uh-oh.
But he must have also felt bad. He's
Yeah, I think it was an equal opportunity
Yeah, no
fighting
kidding.
each other.
crap,
Yeah.
I got white hair.
This guy thinks I'm 40.
That's right.
Yeah. Earlier this week, I vamped for 30 seconds talking about local grocery stores while Skeets piled pumpkin pie into his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
That was a heavy eating session you did right there.
Yeah, I put in a strong showing, I thought. On Tuesday, but really Wednesday when I finished
Once you saw the finish line, it was over.
Yeah, I wanted to be done with it.
My question for you guys today, what's your favorite section of the grocery store?
Oh, easy answer. The bakery. Best smell by a
Yeah.
mile. Smells
Pies.
like it. Yeah, I'll avoid the pies, but I'm a big bread guy, and I love the smell of bread.
Yeah, good one.
They're always cooking up fresh stuff back there.
Loaves.
Yeah, hell
You
yeah.
got a favorite loaf?
Like something with rosemary in it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big rosemary guy.
Savory.
Yeah, like that's
Savory
true.
bread.
Yeah,
Savory loaf.
a brioche. I love a brioche. That's sweet too.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I like all of them.
Olive of them.
No, just like olive,
Oh, it
olive
was a
bread.
pun.
It was.
Oh,
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah.
I got it.
Section?
Yeah, where are you going?
The olive bread section. No, I like the milk, and I say it with a th. because I want the milk that's not milk, the non-dairy milk. I love looking to see what is in each carton.
What are they making out of?
How do they do it? How do they do it?
Yeah.
You know, they soak in almonds, they soak in flax seeds, they're able to extract the protein from peas and put it in the milk that's water. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love doing it. They could be lying on that carton, but I'm still going to buy it. I'm still going to drink flaxseed milk or whatever I'm drinking now. Yeah, I like
There's
it.
a lot of milks now.
So
Too many milks.
So many.
Haven't heard of the flaxseed yet.
It's damn good.
I don't
Damn
believe you.
Who sounds old now? He just suddenly caught up to an age with the flaxseed milk.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's way better than dairy milk.
Oh, come on.
dairy
Nothing
milk.
is
It
better
It
than
shouldn't
dairy
be
milk.
allowed to be called milk.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Oh,
Agree.
Yeah. Oh,
Agree.
you sound like a dairy farmer. They're so mad. They are so mad right now.
They shouldn't be allowed to call it milk.
Look, I'm looking over there. I can see a stockpile of almond milks, but it says almond non-dairy beverage.
That's
on it.
right.
Okay, that's fine.
Specified.
That's totally fine.
That's why I called it the milk section.
Yeah.
Just put a TH on it. There's good ones out there. I wonder, do supermarkets sell more dairy milks or non-dairy milks these days? Probably dairy.
That's
but
it.
there's
is
a
a good
lot out
question.
there now.
Yeah, definitely still more dairies, but the percentage is like the field has got to have tripled in the past 10 years, I would think.
I love it.
What I
milk.
hate about buying milk
Pea
at
milk.
some grocery stores or wherever you go, the size.
Right.
To me, there's never the perfect amount of milk that I actually want, because I don't want a giant jug. There's only 2 of us, and I'm the only one that drink milk.
Right.
And that's too much milk, even for me. But then, like, sometimes they're like so small, and I'm like, that's gonna be good for like 2 bowls of cereal.
Tough.
Give me
right.
in between.
That's tough.
Because you know, obviously, I'm like, if it smells the tiniest bit off, it's down the
Yep.
drain. I don't mess with that.
Don't mess with milk.
Yeah.
What do they sell? They sell a liter and a 2 liter.
But there's
probably.
like some places
What
do
are you
have the
talking
right
about, Tess? We're in America. It's
I
a
don't
gallon
care.
Yeah.
or whatever the smaller one.
Whatever the smaller
tiny one.
No,
A
Taz
pint.
is right though. It does exist, but they don't have it in every store. It's either they have too much milk or the little tiny one, like for coffee, I guess, for people and stuff like that.
Too much
Yeah.
milk.
There's not like for the people like me, like I'm gonna eat a bowl of cereal maybe 3 times this week, and then maybe I
wanna
need a
toss
little
that thing.
splash of milk in a macaroni and cheese,
Yeah.
maybe something else, but not a lot, not too much.
never the perfect amount of milk.
Maybe I should get a. Do they still have milkmen? Glass bottles?
No.
Come around.
They do
with their
not.
horse and buggy. Drop a big dump in front of my house.
Yeah. No, they don't.
I told you Brody used to do that, right? In Stratford. He worked on the. Stratford at one point brought back the buggy
Sure.
to get your milk
Straight up
delivered.
buggy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was on it and had to like always just scoop up horse manure.
What does he do with it? Put it on
They had a
with
bucket.
the milk?
They had a bucket
Ugh.
like hanging off. What a job! What a summer job!
The bucket hanging off. Gross. A lot of milks out there. JD, what's your favorite section of the grocery store?
Oh, yeah.
Horse manure milk.
Well, I mean,
You'd buy it, test it. It's healthier. It's
believe it.
healthier.
ooh, manure milk.
Yep, 100%. Frozen novelties for me. I just love going down the aisle, waggling my fingers, going, I never get anything usually, but I like seeing what's out there, what's new.
In the frozen section.
Yeah, you know, the drumsticks and the
Klondike
Haagen-Dazs
bars.
bars and
Yeah.
all that.
You got a favorite? Were
Well,
you to be purchasing?
The thing I loved the most got discontinued. It was the chocolate taco thing.
Gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Interesting.
so good.
Why is that gone?
I think it was too expensive to make. If I'm being honest, because everybody loves it.
What?
Literally everybody.
Well, then
loves
charge like twice the
it.
price.
I know, right? But whatever.
Well, whatever.
I do like in our lifetime the technology of the frozen section in a grocery
Yeah.
store with the lights lighting up as you walk by them.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel badass?
Yeah, it's like we're living in the future.
I do love that. Yeah. That's so cool.
It's very cool.
It's just smart. But what they the next technology is a defroster of some kind, like non-frosting glass. Because as soon
Yeah.
as some person opens it, the whole thing is frosted
Yeah.
up. You can't see anything.
True.
I can't do my thing.
We could do an entire show on grocery stores. Man.
I think we just did.
Yeah, we maybe did. Rapid fire. Not so rapid.
Sixth segment. Trey went through 5 segments.
Yeah, we
That's
gave it an extra one.
Oh, number 6.
Grocery
That was
stores.
a longer podcast for us. Good to see it here for the drop. Hopefully that'll take you through your weekend, especially after you listen and then watch it. Appreciate everybody joining us here live on YouTube. Hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. You might find yourself on the next 5-Star Friday front when we get into it in January. But yeah, that's it for us. Lots of basketball on this weekend. We'll be back on Monday to give you your winners and losers of the weekend. Then we've got NBA Cup quarterfinal action on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Then we'll see you through to the weekend, and then we're off to Vegas. Next Saturday we head to Vegas. Doesn't seem right.
I agree.
Right? It's weird.
That's a week tomorrow.
It's like weird to be doing a trip like that before Christmas.
Yeah.
So weird.
Especially going back to Vegas where we've been literally... How many times have we been to Vegas at this point?
We've been to
10
Vegas so many
11?
times. I was getting like nature recommendations last night.
Right.
People like go see the Hudson Dam.
Right.
See the, like.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird to feel cold in Vegas. 'cause
Yes, we're
we've
only
never
there
been
in the
there.
summer.
Yeah. I've never been there in the winter.
That'll be interesting. But anyway, we're here all next week, so hope to see you starting on Monday. Everybody have a great weekend. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, I've got a couple obscure NBA player facts for you. Trenton Flowers, who we talked about earlier on the Los Angeles Clippers. Local boy. Our man Ash lived close to him.
Okay.
Interesting stuff
Okay,
there.
okay.
Interesting
Like
stuff.
that.
Also, I find this interesting. I'm geeking out, but Trendon Wofford, his name is Trendon
Yep.
with a D.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say, is that it's the
Did
spelling.
you think it was Trenton?
Well, I just never seen a Trendon out there in the NBA world. I knew it, but it's just... And Trenton is Trent Y-N. Wow, man.
A lot of ways to spell names.
There is.
A lot of names.
Think about that
out
this
there.
weekend. Think about all the names, especially dog names too. Even more of those, guys.
Brunson's a good name. Brunson is a good dog name.
Brunson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds doggish.
Yeah, it
to
sounds
me.
doggish.
Bulldog.
Brace the weekend, people.